5 biggest mistakes, like you see behind me, that most people make on carnivore and how to avoid them. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Obesity Project, episode 32, 5 carnivore mistakes that people are making and how to fix them. So you've started the carnivore diet, but maybe you're feeling tired or bloated, still craving sugar, or worse yet, not losing the weight that you're looking for. So what's going wrong? I've personally been on the carnivore diet for about 4 weeks now, so still in the early stages, but I've done my research. And let me walk you through the 5 biggest mistakes, like you see behind me, that most people make on carnivore and how to avoid them. So let's go ahead and fix this for you. Mistake number 1, and this is a big one, is not eating enough fat. Carnivore isn't just about cutting carbs. It's about switching your body's fuel source to fat. And if you aren't aware, our bodies are hybrid engines. We can burn sugar for fuel, or we can burn fat for fuel. And so during fed states, when we're eating, we're actually using the sugar that we're eating as our body's natural source of fuel. But when we're in a fasting state, when we're not eating, our body turns over to the other fuel source, which is body fat. And the body fat allows us to keep going, allows us to live throughout the evening. You know, you wake up the next morning. That wouldn't necessarily be the case if we didn't have extra fat to burn. So when people only eat lean meats like chicken breast or sirloin, they're simply not getting enough fat to support energy, hormones, or brain function. They crash, they get foggy, or they quit the diet altogether. Now, the science backs this up. Dr. George Cahill's research in 2003 showed how ketone bodies become essential for energy once carbs are removed from the diet. But that only works if you're actually eating enough fat. So what's the fix? You want to choose fatty cuts like ribeye. You want to eat ground beef that's high in fat, like 80-20 or even 75-25 if you can find it. You want to eat things like beef tallow, suet, and bone marrow. Fat should make up roughly about 70 to 80% of your daily calories on the carnivore diet. All right, so mistake number 2 is eating too much protein. Now, I know it sounds crazy on a carnivore diet, but you have to remember protein is good, but it's not unlimited. So when you overdo protein, your body converts the excess glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis. And that raises the blood sugar and insulin, and you'll never actually enter true fat burning mode. Now, there was some research by Wolf in 2002 that showed that the body has a limited capacity to use protein directly for fuel. It has to convert the rest into sugar. So what's the fix? Keep your protein moderate. A general rule of thumb, a good rule of thumb is to eat about a 1-to-1 ratio by weight of protein to fat. Or you want to go ahead and make sure that 70-80% of your calories are from fat. You don't have to fear the fat. It is your main fuel source when you're on a carnivore diet. And I don't know if you know about you guys, but I don't really want to count calories. That's the beauty of this diet. So I'll stick to that 1-to-1 ratio of protein to fat. All right, mistake number 3 is cutting electrolytes. So when you go carnivore or low carb, your insulin will drop. And when insulin drops, your kidneys will excrete more sodium and potassium. And that's why you may actually feel lightheaded or crampy or even irritable, what many people call the carnivore or the keto flu. And there was a study by Finney and Volek in 1983 that found that this electrolyte loss happens quickly. And if you don't replenish it, it can derail the diet and you will fall off and go back to eating your normal diet. So what is the solution? You want to supplement with unrefined salts, things like Redmond's or there's many other different salts on the market that are unrefined from sort of protected sites that have high mineral content in them. So you can supplement with unrefined salts, You want to eat potassium-rich cuts of meat like heart and like other organ meats, which contain many of these potassium-rich, uh, organs. You want to add that magnesium back either through glycinate supplements, or you can even do Epsom salt soaks. So you want to make sure that you're adding back those essential electrolytes, especially early in the diet. All right. Number four is not giving the diet enough time. So people do expect instant results, especially with all the hype behind the carnivore diet. But the adaptation phase takes time. You may feel worse before you feel better. Fatigue, diarrhea, nausea, cravings, it's all part of the switch from sugar burning to fat burning. Now, Westman et al. In 2002 showed significant improvements in metabolic markers on low carb diets, but not until after full fat adaptation. And that's really important. The other thing that I, always talk about, I came from a low carb diet for about a 2 year period and moved into the carnivore diet. So I didn't experience any of these sort of symptoms that, many people describe. So again, my situation a little bit different. Most people are coming from your standard American diet, and then going into a keto or a carnivore diet. So what should you do? You want to make sure that you stick with it for at least 30 to 45 days. I actually made a promise to myself that I was going to do this for a 90-day period of time, and then I was going to reevaluate. And I'm going to do some lab testing, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, to not only check my levels, but also things to track energy, digestion, inflammation, and mood, not just weight. And especially if you're looking to improve your metabolic health, the weight isn't as critical, but you will definitely lose the weight if you're overweight and obese. All right. And finally, mistake number five, only eating muscle meat. Now, this is a nutrient trap. Muscle meat alone is not enough. You will miss out on critical micronutrients like vitamin A, K2, magnesium, and collagen. So Dr. Paul Saladino and other researchers stress the importance of nose to tail eating, and this includes the organ meats like liver and heart, or including bone broth into the diet. These give you the nutrients that muscle meat by itself lacks. So, how do you fix the this not getting, excuse me, enough vital nutrients with the muscle meat alone? You add liver or other organ meats once or twice a week. Try heart, try kidney, make some bone broth, or use collagen-rich cuts like oxtail, and this will round out your nutrition and keep you thriving long term. All right, so those were the five most common traps or mistakes carnivores make. I'm going to give you some quick bonus tips before we wrap up. So first, we want to avoid excess coffee. It can spike cortisol and mess with your hunger cues. Now, I'm not saying don't drink the coffee, perfectly fine, but limit your coffee intake. I do just 1 cup in the morning, and once that's done, I'm all done with the coffee. Skip artificial sweeteners. Even 0 calorie ones can trigger insulin release. And I've mentioned in previous videos about how your brain recognizes that sweet taste and basically causes the release of insulin in response to expecting that sugar to be coming in. And then third, you want to prioritize sleep. Sleep deprivation raises insulin resistance and cravings. And so, you want to make sure that you prioritize your sleep and you have good sleep habits. Habits is what I tried to say. All right. So carnivore is extremely powerful, but only when done right. All right, so to wrap this up, don't give up on carnivore too soon. If you fix these five mistakes, you'll finally unlock the energy, the fat loss, and the mental clarity that you're looking for. Stick with it, track your progress, and adjust. You've got this. I believe in you. I know you can do it. And thank you so much for spending the time with me. I appreciate your time more than you can even know. And like, share, and comment, subscribe, do all those fun and exciting things on social media so that you get more videos from me. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.